everyone. Beautiful to reconnect with you on this autumn day that we're having here. And hopefully when you hear this recording, you're also experiencing the beauty of autumn, wherever you are. I'm blessed with the opportunity to be here at Big Sur as I record our fall podcast. I'm sorry to those of you that have been possibly waiting for this podcast, for it being late. It's been the tides of the times, and life is quite full and bountiful. And I hope that your holiday season, your Thanksgiving, was beautiful and blessed. And sometimes when we're gathering with friends and families, there can be a mix of beauty and, you know, as I had shared in the previous podcast, opportunities for some beautiful composting energy as well. So, and I know for myself that it's definitely been a very bountiful autumn so far, very full. And there's also been a lot of challenges in my family and with some of my clients, lots of health issues that have emerged, challenges with various relationships and finance and car, and a little bit sprinkled in many of the different communities that I've been in. And I feel like it's such a testament of our changing times, that it's such a time for us to be quite fluid and also to find the grace in the midst of all of the upheaval and sometimes turmoil and sometimes the chaos. Really, the goddess is often termed as an energy of chaos that creates, that often creation comes out of chaos. And so I find too that the fall season, especially as we move into the holidays and into the winter solstice, there is an energy of grace that is present in the midst of the darkness and of the continued receding of the sun and the emerging of the dark nights, that there's a realm of grace that seems to pervade all of that. Cold winters, approaching, and often a time of moving more into the inward cave and finding that light within, finding the light of the fire and the lights that we, decorate our homes with in the Christmas season. And of course, there's this season of grace related to the birth of Christ, that time of celebration for some spiritual and religious circles. And whether or not you celebrate that holiday, the symbolism of that time is definitely a time of celebrating light within the dark. And I also feel that it's a time of celebrating the grace amidst the upheaval. And I feel that the message of this podcast keeps resounding for me as I've been preparing to record it, about finding your own grace in the midst of whatever it is that you are working with, whether it is a bountiful time and full time, a peaceful time to rest in that space of grace. And if it's not, if it's a period of challenge and growth provoking and uncertainty, to lean on the realm of grace during that time and during this season. And we have such a beautiful gift, those of us that practice Reiki, as well as those of us that practice meditation and yoga, but particularly Reiki. Reiki so much is the essence of grace. It is grace. It is, to me, grace that heals through Reiki. And so finding that in the midst of whatever it is that you are walking through. And as I stand here on these beautiful cliffs, we've had a beautiful rain, which is, for someone from Los Angeles, quite a delicious experience. We have some rays of sun piercing through the clouds, and that in and of itself symbolizes that realm of grace to me. And this season too of the holidays, of Christmas, of winter solstice, of New Year's, very similar to what we experienced in during the Halloween time, the celebration of the dead, the celebration of the ancestors. And Simon at that time had shared with me that he felt that Halloween is not only a time of celebrating the ghosts and the goblins, and not even like celebrating only the the dead and the ancestors, but it's also a time of celebrating the fairies and the light beings and the mystical and the magical, and that he interpreted as a time of when the veil is very thin and we are more connected with that realm. And I had shared with him that I find that to be true of the entire season of fall, isn't it? Because as I had shared in the previous podcast, as we were in September, we're entering this season, which is season of, as the Polynesians celebrated, it's really the season of rest. It's a season of, celebration, of enjoying all the efforts and the creations of the past 9 months. It's obviously the harvest season, which we all really partook in the Thanksgiving holiday. It's, if we like, we can use that as an opportunity to share the bounties with each other. So this season is, in the Polynesian spirituality, they really connect with how the Pleiadian constellation is very apparent during this season, and that is where, for them, the creation story originates out of, from the Pleiadian constellation. And so it's, when the Pleiadian constellation is most apparent during these 4 months, it is really the time where the veil is thin between this plane and the inner planes, between dimensions, and an opportunity to really connect more deeply as we enter those cave periods, as we enter into those days of dark, where we enter more deeply within ourselves, within our inner psyche, within the psyche of the universe. And we also have the opportunity to celebrate with our loved ones and enjoy, the past 9 months of creation. And so often we can get so tied up in creating more and more in our world where we're going. We don't really take the opportunity to celebrate and enjoy and relish in what has been already manifest. And as I'm here on these beautiful cliffs, on this very earthy day, and where the elements are very prominent, last night and today we were camping and out in the fire, and I was really enjoying the element of fire. And I was kind of reflecting on how, in our day-to-day lives, we can often get disconnected not only of the earth, but of the elements of fire, of ether, of water, of earth, of air, and the magnificence of these elements, the magnificence of these cliffs, the magnificence of nature all around us. And I think that, with all the things that we do in our lives, and all the things that we create, and all the ways that we connect with each other, that ability to rest in nature, that's really what nature does for us. It gives us a place of rest, wherever it is that we feel called to. Some of us are called to the ocean, others to the mountains, others to the deserts, others to the tropics. And so, wherever it is that we're called to, we have the opportunity to rest in that place. And I also find that nature really embodies grace. Yes, nature can also be ferocious, and she can destroy, yeah, but she really embodies that essence of grace. even in her destruction. There's such grace. And, the beauty of Reiki is that Reiki connects us to that realm of grace and of nature. Reiki, one of the ways that I've been really connecting with it lately is its simplicity, which is its grace, and its ability to bring back that which is in disarray, that which is scrambled, back to its natural order. Brings it right back to its natural order. And so I want to invite you this season, especially if you are attuned to Reiki, to contemplate that as you use Reiki on yourself and others. The gift of Reiki to bring all things back to its natural order. Bringing it back to alignment, to flow. And I want to invite you as well to find that space of grace within yourself, wherever you may find yourself this season. Yeah, and I want to invite you as well to etch out some times in the elements where you can observe the beauty of fire, the beauty of the ether, the air, the water, and the earth. In the story of the birth of this Christ energy through Jesus on this planet, that is said to have been during this month of winter solstice. Some people believe that it's not, that it was another month and it was joined with the winter solstice. But whatever you believe, the symbolism of that birth is really the birth of grace on this planet. It's really the birth of love on this planet. And so, and the reality is that the life of this man, whatever way you celebrate him, was really an example of how to live. And he definitely was a testament of living in grace amidst all of it. As I look out in the water, I think of the story of him with his disciples where the waters were very rough, and he, asked them why they were so in such turmoil, and he just asked for the sea to be calm. Whatever we believe about that story, it's really such a symbol of, whatever rough waters we may find, we can within ourselves ask for the calm, find that calm within the rough waters. And, to find that grace and to find that love that is ever present in that grace, which also is what Reiki symbolizes for us, isn't it? It really is that essence of love that heals. And it's the soul of grace, the soul of you, the soul of the universe, that this, symbol of the birth of Christ really is about, the awakening of the soul. The winter solstice, every year we celebrate that, emergence out of the dark into the light. As winter solstice comes, really the receding sun gives way and turns, and then after the winter solstice, day by day, the sun appears for longer and longer periods of time. And so this is a really rich time between now and the winter solstice, such a rich time to really cultivate our ability to rest in grace amidst all that we are creating, all that we are growing through, and all that we are also receiving. And so as I close this day, I just want to take a moment and open up the space to you to receive the beauty and grace of this land here at Big Sur. You may be able to hear the crashing waves below me. There are beautiful cedar trees all around me, and this sun ray piercing through the stormy clouds. And I want you to open to receive the beauty that is here as a reflection of the beauty that is within you. And just soak in both the Reiki that is coming through this podcast and soak in this pristine landscape. You know, there are ancient teachers that tell us that all of nature is all within us. There are kahunas in the Huna spirituality that tell us that the islands are all within us. And that's true of all sacred places. They're all reflection of that sacredness within us. So as you soak in these elements, allow it to spark and awaken the reality of the elements within you and the sacredness that you are. As you soak in the grace that is on this land, let it awaken the grace that is within you. Allow yourself to fully open to the flow of Reiki as it moves through, as you drink it in with your breath. Allowing your breath to be long, full, and deep, moving you into that space of grace, of fullness, of bounty. And as you deepen in your ability to receive, open up to the promise of this path that you are on. Open up to the promise of Reiki and its gift of grace. And open up to the promise of the season. As it comes each year, reminding us that that light, that spark, is within all things and is within us and awakens. And as you open to that spark of light, with it, let it lodge the awareness that you are never alone. As that light awakens within you, allow it to remind you of the infinite flow of grace that's always there, carrying you and caring for you, ever waiting for your request. That is the promise of this season. That is the promise of this path. As we see all around us the beauty of the lights that emerge in this season in various places, allow it to awaken the awareness that light is not only within you, but is all around you in beings of light, ever waiting for your request, co-creating with you. And so just deepening in your breath and taking in this awareness, this promise, this grace. Allowing it to move deep into your psyche, into your being, into your soul, into your heart. Make a promise to yourself to care for yourself and to care for yourself enough to ask when you are in need and to reach and to receive. And then just gently bringing yourself back, your awareness back to your breath, your awareness back to your body, your awareness back to the space that you are in. And so, dear ones, it's been such a pleasure to be with you this day, such a pleasure to share this beautiful landscape with you, this majestic space with you. And so again, I just send to you the majesty of this land, and I wish you such a rich holiday season, and that you may feel carried on the wings of love and grace. I look forward to seeing you in the various ways and avenues that I have available for you. Please contact me if you would like more information about my services. I can be reached at info@sacredventures.com. You can also visit my website, sacredventures.com or reikiunleashed.com, to view my upcoming events, Reiki classes of all the levels, and group Reiki healings, women's wisdom, and in the new year we'll be moving into wisdom teachings, which will be co-ed events, combination of Kundalini and restorative yoga and meditation and Reiki. So I look forward to steeping you in that, and we will also be are in the planning stages of our Maui retreat for 2015, so please check that out. We're going to be staying at a really beautiful dwelling on the ocean, so our accommodations are oceanfront, and it's one of the most beautiful beaches I know of on Maui. So I look forward to sharing that with you. And of course I'm available for one-on-one sessions either over the phone or distantly or in person. And so, my friends, with that I send you much Reiki, aloha, love, many blessings for your holiday season. Sat Nam.